When you think of Game of Thrones, who comes to mind first? Daenerys with her dragons, Jon Snow, the reluctant king, or maybe the man they called the Kingslayer, Jaime Lannister. From the golden-armored villain who pushed a child from a window to a man fighting for the living, Jaime's journey is one of the most complex, frustrating, and ultimately tragic tales in the entire saga. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the man who was both a monster and a hero, and why his ending left so many of us feeling hollow. At the start, Jaime is easy to hate. He's arrogant, smug, and seemingly without a moral compass. His first major act is horrifying, pushing Bran Stark from a tower at Winterfell with the cold words, "The things I do for love." This single moment defines him for years. He is the villain, the incestuous knight, the oathbreaker who murdered the king he swore to protect. The world sees him in black and white, and for a long time, he seems to play the part perfectly. He's a Lannister, and a Lannister always pays his debts. His debt, it seems, is to be the bad guy. But Game of Thrones excels at showing us the gray areas, and Jaime's story is a masterclass in this. The real turning point begins when he is captured by Catelyn Stark and ends up on the road with Brienne of Tarth. This is where the layers start to peel back. Stripped of his golden armor, his family name, and eventually his sword hand, Jaime is forced to confront who he is without the things that defined him. Losing his hand is more than a physical loss. It's the death of his identity as the greatest swordsman in Westeros. It's in a grimy bathhouse in Harrenhal that we get the full story of the Kingslayer. For years, we believed he killed the mad King Aerys Targaryen out of treachery, but Jaime reveals the truth. King Aerys was about to burn King's Landing to the ground with wildfire, incinerating 500,000 innocent people. Jaime was faced with an impossible choice: uphold his oath and watch the city burn, or break his vow and save everyone. He chose to save them, but in doing so, he was branded a traitor for life. No one knew the truth, and he was too proud to tell them. He carried the weight of being hated for his greatest act of heroism. This is the beginning of Jaime's redemption arc. His relationship with Brienne is central to this change. She sees the honor buried deep within him, the man he could be. He entrusts her with his Valyrian steel sword, Oathkeeper, and sends her to find and protect the Stark girls. He defies his own family, his own father Tywin, and even his sister Cersei to do what he believes is right. He frees his brother Tyrion, an act that directly leads to his father's death and fractures the Lannister family forever. He's no longer just Cersei's twin, he's becoming his own man. When he rides north to Winterfell to fight against the army of the dead, it feels like the culmination of his journey. He stands before Daenerys, Sansa, and Jon, the very people who should despise him, and commits to fighting for the living. He apologizes to Bran. He knights Brienne in one of the most moving scenes in the series, giving her the honor she always deserved. He fights alongside the men and women of the North, no longer the arrogant Kingslayer, but a soldier in the Great War. For a moment, it seems like he's finally found his place and his honor. And then, there's Cersei. The tragedy of Jaime Lannister is that he could never truly escape her. His love for her was an addiction, a core part of his identity that he couldn't sever. After the battle is won, after sharing a moment of genuine connection with Brienne, he hears that Cersei is in danger, and he turns back. He leaves the woman who represents his honor for the woman who represents his downfall. He says, "She's hateful, and so am I." It's a devastating line because it shows that deep down, he never truly believed he could be redeemed. His journey ends where it began, in King's Landing, in the arms of his sister, as the Red Keep collapses around them. He dies with Cersei, the woman he once pushed a child from a tower for. "The things I do for love" were his first significant words, and they were also his last. He tried to be better, he fought to be better, but in the end, the pull of his past, his love, and perhaps his self-loathing was too strong. So, was his redemption a lie? Not necessarily. The tragedy is that his redemption was real, but it wasn't enough to save him from himself. His story is a powerful, painful reminder that sometimes we can't outrun who we are or who we think we are. He was the Kingslayer, the Oathbreaker, but he was also a man who saved a city, who fought for humanity, and who tried, in his own broken way, to find honor. That complexity is what makes Jaime Lannister one of the most unforgettable characters in television history. His ending wasn't a triumph, but a beautifully heartbreaking tragedy. What do you think? Did Jaime get the ending he deserved, or did his arc deserve a different conclusion? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed diving deep into the stories of our favorite characters, make sure to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.